Good evening, everybody. Once again, this is a UFC 122 post-fight recap with Stenenberg Thunderheart. And this event, I had a little idea that it actually was free on Spike TV. I basically goofed earlier, thinking that it was going to be on pay-per-view. I was out all day, networking, getting many projects together for future projects that I have in mind with some friends and associates. And I totally forgot that it actually was free on Spike TV, especially the fact that I haven't been watching TV as much these days, mostly just getting information off magazines, internet, and so forth, but not much on TV. But in any event, though, as resourceful as I am, I, of course, went to a sports bar tonight, and I was able to watch it there and enjoy myself anyway, and I was well prepared. So, in any event, I'm going to get on with this whole event here because I got some things to say. And this event was actually very interesting. Like I said, it took place in Germany, so it was supposed to be Nate Marquardt versus Yushin Okami, which I will explain in the main event later about it. But let me get started on this. McCray versus Carlos Eduardo Rocha. I mean, that was an awesome fight, actually. It started just with wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and just running around the ground, submission attempts. And, I mean, while they were rolling, Carlos Eduardo finally was able to wrap his knees around his leg and actually gave him a nasty knee bar and forced him to tap out, meaning Chris McCray to tap out. So congratulations, Carlos Eduardo Rocha. I mean, if there was a submission of the night, I think there would have been no doubt that he would have got it right there. Carlos Eduardo Rocha would have got it, so congratulations. And Seth Petruzelli versus Carlos Vemola. There we go. And Carlos Vemola was the winner, TKO victory. I mean, golly, man, shit. I mean, he just dominated him by just picking him up, slamming him down so many times during the first round, and then kept pounding him. But he did not make a lot of mistakes by just going in there and rushing too much, but just enough aggression and enough velocity and force to just kept pounding him. And especially when he finally, but actually, Seth Petruzelli would try to catch him with triangles and different arm bars, but to no avail. He just kept slipping out of it and kept rushing in, and just finally had him in a hammer fist, vicious, powerful hammer fist to the side of the head. The referee had no choice to stop the fight and just and actually rewarded Carlos Vemola TKO victory. And needless to say, it's kind of hard to imagine and kind of hard to think that Seth Petruzelli at one point was the very same guy a couple years ago who destroyed the illusion known as Kimbo Slice on Strikeforce. And even though Kimbo Slice was the face of Elite XC many years ago, as I would say, once Petruzelli destroyed the illusion of Kimbo Slice aura of invisibility in 14 seconds, after a while, so was the organization of Elite XC. Moving on. Duane Ludwig versus Nick Osipczak. And the winner, of course, is Duane Ludwig via split decision. Now, that was actually a very great contest. I mean, both of them started really swinging from the start. I mean, both of them started throwing leg kicks, punches, and even like throwing roundhouses and different things like that. Even went to the ground and tried to do submission, but they kept on popping up. They kept on taking each other down. And at one point, Nick Osipczak actually hit Duane Ludwig, went to the ground in the first round, and then had him in so much trouble that he, of course, gave him a cut in his eye. It wasn't too bad of a cut, or otherwise the referees probably would have stopped that fight due to that. But in any event, he was good. He wasn't bleeding much. And then Ludwig just got aggressive and just kept on coming with his wrestling, boxing, kicking. And Osipczak was just getting so tired, he was gassed out in the third round. So congratulations, Duane Ludwig, on the split decision. I mean, that was a very, very close fight. It could have gone either way, the way things were going. But the only reason why Duane just had more gas in him in the third round than Nick. So that's how it went. And then Pascal Krauss versus Mark Scanlon. And the winner is Pascal Krauss, unanimous decisions. And Vladimir Matyushenko versus Alexandre Ferreira. And the winner is Vladimir Matyushenko by TKO. So, and I just wish that all these matches would have been shown rather than being non-televised. I don't know, but I guess they don't have all the airtime that they can fill all these matches anyway, which is unfortunately because I want to see all these fights for myself sometimes. So here we go. And another one that was not represented on TV, that was not shown on TV, was Kyle Noke versus Rob Kimmons, and the winner is Kyle Noke's submission. And Krzysztof Soszynski versus Goran Reljic, and the winner is Krzysztof Soszynski by unanimous decision. Now that was a very good match itself too. Actually, some people may say it was boring or whatever. I personally believe that they both just had a hard time just really getting the flow of things and getting their win, getting their advantage on each other. But after a while, Krzysztof finally was able to get him and started pounding him from the backside control, and just kept pounding him and hurting him and busting him up and just hurting him, and then finally, he was awarded unanimous decision. So congratulations, Krzysztof Soszynski for that. And then of course Amir Sodola versus Peter Sobotta. The winner is Amir Sodola by unanimous decision. These two started swinging, kicking, throwing different striking techniques fast and furious from the get-go. I mean, this really went to 3 rounds, and even at one point, Peter Sodola made an error, which he actually attempted to spin hook kick, but he tripped himself and went to the ground, and then Amir went to the ground, but really couldn't capitalize on it. So he just kind of got up and allowed him to get up, gentleman's sportsmanship and so forth. And in any event, it went to the 3rd round, and then it didn't happen to neither one of these guys could finish each other off. And Amir Sodola, congratulations on your unanimous victory there. And then Dennis Seaver versus Andre Winner. The winner is Dennis Seaver by tap out, rear naked choke. Now that was a really good first round fight, and they just went at it, full speed ahead, strong and so forth. But at the same time, Seaver was able to actually, when Andre came at him, he was actually able to hook him, like this straight ahead, and actually pecked him right in the face with the nose. Andre went down. He pounded him, and he finally slapped out rear naked choke, and actually grapevined him in not only his stomach with his legs, but also trapped his arm along with that. And then, in any event, Andre Winner had no choice but to tap out on that. And so, great showing on Dennis Seaver. I would have to say for Andre Winner, poor guy, he may have to change his last name for some reason, because the last 2 fights that he has lost, man, I mean, he may have to change his last name. He's not gonna be changing to loser. No, I don't think so. But maybe someone else, as far as that goes, to change. Maybe that's a different last name. That's kind of how it goes. And Nate Marquardt versus Yushin Okami in the main event, and the winner is Yushin Okami by unanimous decision. Now, Yushin Okami did basically a lot of things right in this fight. Sure, even though he wasn't getting aggressive along with Nate Marquardt, he was throwing some good combinations, like throwing jabs and punches, more so not really to knock him out per se. I was surprised that he wasn't trying to actually go in for the kill with his strikes, but instead to use it to grab and try to take Nate Marquardt down. And Nate Marquardt was not being aggressive. He wasn't really doing much. Yeah, he took him down a few times, but he really couldn't capitalize. And if anything, Okami had more control even when he was in the victimized position. So congratulations, Yoshi Okami, for the victory. And Nate Marquardt, I don't know what else to say. I guess he didn't want it bad enough to win tonight, and Yokoshi was more aggressive than the two. And I mean, that kind of made the main event come to a close. And the great interview session by Joe Rogan with Matt Hughes and BJ Penn. Both men look very relaxed and ready to go for the next event of UFC 123. And I can't wait to see the next event, which is next week, of Lyoto Machida versus Quinton Jackson. That should be a good one in itself too. So in any event, this is the UFC post-fight recap once again with Standing Bear Thunderheart, and that's all I'm going to say for tonight. And it's been a great night overall. It's just that the main event I just wish was a little bit better. But in overall, now Yushin Okami has a shot at whoever is the winner for the middleweight championship of Anderson Silva versus Vitor Belfort. So that should be a good one in itself. And Yushin, make the best of the opportunity that you got, man. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Talk to you next week. Healing, it is all that is.